right. So this is for 7. So there's different ways to represent inequalities. Sometimes you just have to solve it, meaning you get the letter and you have the answer as the inequality. Sometimes you make it an interval. Sometimes you put it on a number line and you have an open or closed dot and you shade a specific direction. Okay? So this is pretty much one of the last homeworks that'll go in the grade book. But let's move up the screen. All right, so problem number 1. Does everyone feel comfortable subtracting 2 from both sides? And you wind up with this for an answer. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, the interval. We've talked a little bit about intervals before. Okay? So let's think about this. I want values that are less than 8. So like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Agree? So this is pointing to negative infinity. Does that make sense? So our interval is going to go from negative infinity. You always do an interval from left to right like you would read a book. And then we go from negative infinity to 8. Now, my friends, do I include 8 as part of the answer?
No.
No. Why not? You're absolutely right. I love this. Not negative infinity. Negative infinity is part of it. Why is this not part of the answer, included in our inequality? Well, let's do one other thing. Let's go. Yeah, there's no equal sign, so this has to be what you call a soft bracket. Okay? So on a number line, this is what it would look like. You have an open dot here, and you're shading this direction here. Well, thank you very much. How are you? Gotcha. All right, so that's the answer. So we basically have used 3 different ways to show how this works. So, we talked about you have number lines, you have the inequality notation, and then you have the interval notation. Okay, and now they say this last question, is the value x equals 8 part of the solution? Is it an open or a closed dot? Does the 8 have a square bracket or a round bracket? First off, is it open or closed dot at 8? Open. So it's a soft bracket at the 8. So is 8 part of the solution? No. Okay, it's not part of the solution because it doesn't fit in appropriately. Any questions for me on that? We good? All right, can I move down? Ready to move down? Here we go. All right, so problem number 2. Talk to me. What's my first thing I should probably do to both sides to start getting x all by itself? Plus 7. Very good. So add 7. Those cancel out. I get 2x is less than or equal to 7 plus 9 is 16. What's the next step? Divide by 2. Those cancel. Reduce 16 over 2. So this is my inequality. Okay? So on the graph, if I have 8 here and I have 0 here, is it a solid dot or an open dot? Solid. Why? What am I including on this that I didn't have on the last one? I got that little equal sign. So equal. So closed or solid dot. Over here. All right. And we want values that are less than this. So again, it's going this way. Where is this arrow pointing to? Which infinity? Negative. All right. So my interval is going to be this. Negative infinity. Infinities always have a soft bracket or a rounded bracket to 8. What kind of bracket goes on this one and why? Square bracket or rounded bracket? Square. You're absolutely right. Why is that? Because it's closed dot. If I didn't have the graph to look at, what else would tell you that it would be a square bracket? So that right there means it has to have that square bracket. Okay? Pretty simple. All right, let's flip to the back page. Back side of that paper, please. Back side, back side. All right, let's take a look at number 8. Number 8. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Perhaps I subtract 2x from both sides. Agree? Why did I not subtract 6 from both sides? You have an x on either side and a number by itself on one side. That cancels. So I get that. If I divide both sides by 3, I get this. Now, kind of the rule when you're dealing with these, flip the whole thing over. That includes the sign flipping over. Okay? So on a graph, if we have 0 here and we have 2 here, open or close dot? Open. Why is that? No equal sign. And I want values less than 2, so that's going to shade this way. I think our all seems to shade this way right now. Where is that arrow pointing to? Negative infinity. Okay? So the interval, read the number line from left to right. From the left, it's negative infinity. To the right, it's 2. Rounded or square bracket at the 2? Do I have an equal sign? Do I have a solid dot? If it's no on both of those, it has to be a round bracket. Now, they want to know, is 0 part of the solution? Well, all you have to do is you have to just look at your number line. Did I shade over the 0? Did this line keep going over the 0? It didn't start then stop, did it? So this is indeed part of the solution. Okay? All right. So take a good look at the ones that I have not worked on. Is there any one or two others you need me to help you with? Take a look at the ones that did not work. Any one or two others you want me to take a look at? Yeah. Number 3. Okay. So number 3, we have the fraction, correct? Okay, so for problem number 3, multiply both sides by -2. Those cancel each other out. I'm left with x minus 7. Did I multiply or divide by a negative just now? Multiplied. Multiply by a negative. That sign's got to flip over. Okay? Then add 7 to both sides. Okay, so let's make sure we know this, why this is taking place. All right. I'm going to put a little note. I multiplied by a negative number. So flip sign. Do you guys see the sign flip? Okay. So our inequality is going to be this. So on a graph, we have 0 here, we have 25 here. Open or close dot? Close. Why is that? There's an equal. I want values that are bigger, so I'm going to the right. Where's this arrow going to point to? The right way, which is what really big number? Infinity. So my interval notation is going to be a square bracket at 25 to infinity. And then they say this, hey, is 11 part of the solution? Well, here's 11, right? Is 11 shaded? No. So it's not part of the solution. That's how you go through it. Okay, anything else you want to take a gander at?
Number
10? We all love the fractions. Good thing I taught you a way to get rid of them. All right. So we could do this one of two ways. I could multiply everything by 2 first, or I could move the 5. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick to move the 5 over by adding it. Those cancel. -1 plus 5 is 4. And then let's get rid of that fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Those cancel. So x is less than 8. That's my interval. On my number line, draw this. Open or close dot at the 8. Open. It's open. There's no equal sign. And I'm shading left. Remember, when the x comes first, it points the direction going. Where's that arrow pointing to? What really large number to the left? Negative infinity. Your interval, read it left to right like you're reading a book. So negative infinity to 8. Soft bracket on the 8 because I have an open dot. I don't have an equal sign. And then it says, hey, is 8 part of the solution? Is that a solid dot on the 8? Is that a solid dot on the 8? No, it's not part of the solution. Okay, so you have the rest of the period to work on the rest of this worksheet. Get it done. It goes in the grade book tomorrow for points. You can do this, okay? That's all I